Hello, welcome back to my channel. So I just wanted to do a brief reading update for today, talking a little bit about the books that I've read this week and then what I am currently reading as of today and throughout the weekend. So the first book that I finished this week was Jared Cohen's Accidental Presidents, and I showed this in, I believe, my last reading update for when I was just getting ready to start it. I really enjoyed this. This is a look at the 8 presidents who took over for the sitting president because of either death in office or assassination. Each chapter is dedicated to one of the presidents, except for Harry Truman, who for some reason was given 2 chapters. This is really a great overview of these 8 presidents' time, either finishing out the sitting president's term, and then if they were elected for their own term, what they accomplished in their own term. It's by no means a detailed look into their presidencies, obviously, because it's all combined into one book. But this was highly enjoyable, and I would certainly recommend it if you want an interesting read as to what happens for vice presidents when they are sort of thrown into this massive role. The next book that I read was William Howard Taft by Jeffery Rosen. This is a part of the American President series. So the American President series is basically very overview centric presidential biography. So they're not overly detailed. This one, in fact, was under 200 pages. And they really just bake down the president's personal life and political career and make it very digestible. They make it sort of just sticking to the overall accomplishments, the biggest biggest impact that president had. And so this was really great for me because I have not read a whole lot about Taft. I have read Doris Kearns Goodwin's The Bully Pulpit, which is more of a joint biography about Teddy Roosevelt and Howard Taft and sort of the golden age of political journalism. And so it's not really a Taft biography. And so this was a great place for me to start. It really got me interested in the Taft administration, and certainly I will be diving into some other William Howard Taft biographies in the very near future. Then I moved on to Joshua Kendall's The Forgotten Founding Father, Noah Webster's Obsession and the Creation of an American Culture. And this was a really interesting read. I have not read a whole lot about Noah Webster, and I think, like most people, before reading this book, my mental image of Noah Webster was just a dictionary, and this certainly fleshes him out into the full human being that he was. I did feel that the title, The Forgotten Founding Father, was a little bit of a misnomer, just because Noah Webster was not a member of the Constitutional Convention. He really didn't have a whole lot of say in the crafting of the Constitution. He was friends with many prominent members of the Constitutional Convention: Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, Ben Franklin, and he had very steady communication and interaction with those figures, but he himself was not a member of the Constitutional Convention, and so I'm not sure if I would call him a founding father. But also, if you're interested in lexography, this is a great read, sort of the science behind word definitions and how dictionaries are compiled. Some really interesting stuff. And Noah Webster himself is just a very interesting character to read about. It was very enjoyable. Then I moved on to Jay Koss's 2021 biography of James Madison. This was my first full-length James Madison biography to read, and I really enjoyed it. I felt that it was much more focused on his political career and much less on fleshing him out as an individual. I felt that there really was not a lot of personal details about James Madison given. It was much more sort of career-centric, but I think it worked out well for a first biography of sort of getting a decent overview of his political accomplishments and what he achieved throughout his political career. And it definitely spurred me on to downloading a couple other James Madison biographies that I will start to read most likely in nonfiction November. And then I am currently reading The Remarkable Education of John Quincy Adams by Phyllis Lee Levin. Get my paper right here. I just started this morning. It's around 800 pages. I am on about page 24, I believe. So my plan is going to be to read this today and then through the weekend. And just because of the size of it, I'm trying to slow down a little bit and really soak in all of the details. This will be my reading for most likely the next 3 days, and I'll see if I'm able to finish it over that time slot. I may have to go a little bit into next week, but my goal is to have this read over the next 3 days. And then I am still reading Dracula, which is a read aloud series that I'm doing along with Steve Donahue and Mark at Book Time with Elvis. Mark has been sick for the last week or so, and so we're hoping that he'll be able to join us back. Right now it's just been me and Steve, which has been, it has still been great, but we certainly have been missing Mark. And then I'm still reading Middlemarch, which is a part of a group read that I am in with Greg at Another Bibliophile Reads and Shandi Standfast. And so I still have those two going. Those two will be going until the end of the month. So those are sort of stable along with all the other books that I'm reading sort of in between reading those. And so that is just a very brief reading update of what I've read and what I'm currently reading. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any comments you'd like to leave, please feel free to do so down below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.